All right, here we go. We're live. We're live. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Uh, Before I start this stream off today, man, I want to give a moment of silence to former wide receiver for LSU, Kyren Lacy, who apparently committed suicide this weekend after having a run in with the law. Uh, May he rest in peace. Let's give a moment of silence for my boy. All right, man. Let's get this going, man. Since I started off with that, might as well go ahead and start the stream off with that. All right, where's the rest of my notes? Oh my gosh, not. Here we go again. All right, here we go. All right, Football Forever reported former LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy is suspected to have died by self-inflicted gunshot wound following a police pursuit per TMZ. A call for his service regarding weapons disturbance was made around 11:15 p.m. Saturday in Houston area, with a female reporter allegedly telling officers Lacy, her family member, got into a verbal argument with her and then fired a weapon into the ground before fleeing the scene. Police say they spotted Lacy's car and attempted to pull him over, but Lacy drove off, leading into a police chase. Lacy crashed his car during the pursuit. When the police attempted to take Lacy into custody, they found him deceased in the vehicle from what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Officers say they never recovered a handgun from the vehicle. The medical examiner was not released the official cause of death. Lacy was arrested in January on charges related to a deadly hit and run crash in LaForce Parish. He was in a crash with LaForce Parish and was charged with negligent homicide and a hit and run driving serious injury or death and reckless operation with accident. A grand jury was set to start hearing evidence in the case Monday morning, which is today. Oh man, my boy had a lot going on. On top of being a NFL prospect, that incident alone, that isolated incident with him having a deadly hit and run crash, that right there, him having to turn himself in, was forced to turn himself in, had diminished his draft stock. He's set to be an undrafted free agent uh, based on this incident alone, and then it's just been a series of things after that. As far as mental health wise, he was going through, man, and then this incident right here will ultimately end up taking his life. This is sad right here, man. Make sure y'all check on y'all people, man. This right here, he knew he was about to be in trouble with the law once again. He knew he had this day coming today. So he probably just had the mindset like, fuck it. Let me go ahead and take myself out. I'm not going to jail. I probably cost myself millions of dollars by, my actions. And this is what it leads to, y'all. So, man, rest in peace to him. This is a sad story. Oh, man. I know the NFL players are going through it that he played with. Jaden Daniels being one of them. Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr. Because he was that third wide receiver. He was actually the last wide receiver who caught a touchdown from Jaden Daniels while Jaden Daniels was at LSU. Rest in peace to him, man. This is messed up. Sorry I had to start the stream off like that, but I wanted to give him that. Next story. Tennessee Volunteers is moving on from starting cornerback Nico Ilimaleva. Tennessee coach Joseph Harpel informed the team of the decision at a team meeting that Nico missed and practice on Friday, which was the driving up for this decision. Sources told Pete Hamill. If y'all haven't been following this story, sophomore quarterback Nico Ilimaliova is asking for more NIL money, for $4 million to be specific, after getting $2.5 million already. But he wants more, and this right here is the driving force of why college football landscape is not what it once was. This right here is it's a money grab, man. It's definitely a money grab. And you ask some people, it's rightfully so, because college football has been making billions of dollars off of the back of these college students, and up until a few years ago, college students couldn't get a dime. So this right here, a lot of players I'm hearing is 50-50. A lot of players saying this right here is this is the floodgate. Y'all opened the floodgates to this. You feel me? When you did the NIL, the transfer portal, it made it easy for players to just go and get a bigger bag from these other schools, get in the transfer portal, and leave that school. So there's no loyalty for schools, and there's no loyalty for us. What you can give me. If you got $2 million over here, all right, but this team got $4 million. I'm gonna go over there. And to me, I can't say I blame the young dude. You feel me? This is just the way of the world. They made this. They made this. Deion said this would happen. Nick Saban said this would happen. And now look, here we have it. It's like a bid war now. And right here, this is what's killing the junior college route, because if you're not coming in straight out of high school, if you're not a top a 4-star or 5-star, some instance a 3-star, if you're not going to one of these top universities or even playing D1, it's pretty much over for you, bro, because I don't even see them having NIL money for a dude just coming in from the junior college route. The most you probably get now is a free ride, scholarship, and that's it. But this right here, this story is crazy now, and it's oh, hold on, I think I see something else. Okay, we'll talk about this. I'm seeing stories that he might go to Florida, he might go to SC, and this dude went to school right down the street from here, y'all, in Downey, California, and at Warren High School. I remember seeing this kid a couple years ago. So it's crazy to see this is what he going through now. But hey, it is what it is, man. Shout out to Shrimp Life. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. I'm pretty sure school would take him. I'm pretty sure school got $4 million for him. Why not go to SC? You be right back at home. Yep, all fresh out of Long Beach. In other news, Saints fans. Saints are starting QB Derek Carr is dealing with a shoulder injury that threatens his availability for this season per rap sheet. Surgery is on the table. All of a sudden, the Saints could have a hole at the quarterback position. Yazzers, damn, when did this dude get a shoulder injury, man? That's crazy. I want to know if he did this doing something else off the field. But I'm not even sure what his injury was last season, what left him out the remainder of last season. But this right here is ugly, and this can be the end of Derek Carr right here. You on your last leg. You know, it's been chatter about you not that good. They got Jake Hayner and Spencer Rattler over there. They said Spencer Rattler is looking good. It was chatter talking about he may take your starting spot even when you was available. And now this happened. If he's unable to go to start this season, I can see him potentially being cut from the Saints. And he will probably just be a journeyman backup for the rest of his career if anybody is willing to take on, you know, Derek Carr, knowing what they getting out of him. Um, Seattle Seahawks are signing former Giants quarterback Drew Lock to a one-year deal. Lock, 28, returns to Seattle for his second stint. If y'all remember, he went to Seattle in that trade for Russell Wilson. Left, went to New York, and now he's back. Said Jake from Fresno State. You heard? 8-time Pro Bowl cornerback Patrick Peterson will be in Arizona on Monday, which is today, to retire as a Cardinal, per source. Peterson played 13 years in the NFL, including his first 10 seasons in Arizona, where he was a 3-time Pro Bowl All-Pro selection. Shout out to Patrick Peterson, man. Patrick Peterson is one of them ones at the cornerback position, out of LSU as well. Shout out to him. What a hell of a career, man. Tennessee Titans cornerback L'Jarius Sneed is facing a lawsuit over $1 million after he and his personal assistant shot at a car in a parking lot of a car dealership in Texas. Christian Ian was sitting inside the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon on December 6th in Carrollton, Texas. Neither he nor anyone else was hit by bullets fired from a Lamborghini Urus driving past One Legacy Motors. Much of what happened is redacted in the police report obtained by the Associated Press. Attorney Levi McCarthy said in a statement Friday that Sneed and his accomplice were arrested by the Carrollton Police Department for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon after shooting, but yet to answer for it. McCarthy also accused Sneed and a woman who identified herself as Sneed's mother of calling and threatening Ian afterward, wanting him to not cooperate with the police or retain an attorney. The proof is there, McCarthy said. There's video surveillance from the dealership showing that the car and the person who opened fire on Christian. We wanted to know why this happened. We're thankful no one was shot, but we continue to search for the reason behind the incident. Ian filed a civil lawsuit February 20th in Dallas County, Texas, suing Sneed for and a defendant listed as John Doe for an unprovoked attack in cold blood and broad daylight. The lawsuit includes a still photo from surveillance video showing a arm reaching out of a sports utility vehicle on the street with the lawsuit described as a pistol circled in red. A Titan spokesperson said the NFL is aware of the matter and been in contact with the NFL security per league protocol. Man, these dudes are messing up bit by bit. Now you got the money, bro. You got the money. I'm pretty sure you can go hire somebody to do that for you. But you being there, you doing it out your Lamborghini that's registered to you, knowing there's cameras everywhere, and then you do it at a dealership where it's the most cameras. Golly, how stupid can you be, man? And to have your mom call the person after the fact. That's crazy. We will monitor this story as it goes. Hopefully, since nobody was hurt, this dude don't do no jail time, but he definitely will lose this lawsuit. He will face some league repercussions. He will get a suspension. Probably he'll be fined. But hopefully he can put this behind him. All right, in other news, I got a list of the worst contracts in NFL history. These NFL contracts age worse than milk in the sun. Golly. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a couple Redskins on here too. Oh, and look who it is. Number 1, Washington Redskins. 2009, we signed Albert Haynesworth to a 7-year, $100 million deal. At that time, that was the biggest deal for a defensive player. I want to say a player. I think quarterbacks was making more, a little bit more than that in 2009. Deal, 7 years, $100 million, $41 million guaranteed. Why is it bad? He was dominant in Tennessee, but once the Commanders, then Redskins, paid him, he stopped trying, constantly out of shape, clashed with the coaches, and was a locker room disaster. Lasted only 2 years. Legacy, the gold standard for free agent bust. Man, ain't the truth. I just can remember him making a couple good plays, but then it's the one play where we played against Philly, and he got blocked to the ground, and he could have got up, but he just stood there on the ground, just sat there looking stupid. And they circled that in the middle of the play. Like, why is he just standing there? Michael Vick is just in a pocket, and this dude would not get up. Deshaun Watson is number 2. Cleveland Browns, 2022. Deal, 5 years, $230 million, fully guaranteed. Why it's bad? Historic deal with every penny guaranteed since signing. He's barely played. Being inconsistent, and his off-the-field baggage is massive. Browns are locked in with no easy escape. Legacy might become the worst contract deal ever if he doesn't rebound. This might be the worst, and it's going to continue to be the worst, and it's going to always be the worst. Because his first year, he was suspended 11 games, played in 6, did okay, came back the next year, had the shoulder surgery, what kept him out most of the year. I want to say he probably played like 5 games. Then this next season, he tore his Achilles. But before all of that, the games he did play, he didn't look impressive. He didn't look like himself. Russell Wilson is number 3, Broncos 2022. 5-year deal, $245 million, $165 guaranteed. Why it's bad? Signed before he played a snap in Denver. Immediately fell off a cliff got benched for Jarrett Stidham, then cut with a $85 million dead cap hit spread over 2 years. One of the biggest QB misreads ever. God damn. He got that before even taking the snap. Number 4, Nick Foles, Jaguars 2019. Foles, 4 years, $88 million, $50 million guaranteed. Why it's bad? Threw 1 touchdown for the Jags, got hurt in week 1. Gardner Minshew played better. They ate a huge cap hit to dump him a year later. Legacy, the ultimate thanks for the Super Bowl, but overpay. Him taking over the Eagles when Carson Wentz got hurt. Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate. You know, he got hurt. Everybody thought the Eagles' Super Bowl chances was over. Stepped in Nick Foles. Nick Foles took them to the Super Bowl. Not only did he take them to the Super Bowl, but he faced Tom Brady and beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, which what got him this bag that very next year. Number 5, Brock Osweiler, Texans 2016. 4 years, $72 million, $37 million guaranteed. Why is it bad? Paid off of 7 games backing up Peyton Manning. Imploded immediately. Traded with a 2nd-round pick just to get rid of his contract. A cautionary tale and small sample size hype. Yeah, Brock Osweiler was not that impressive, bro. Maybe in Denver because that team was kind of like tailor-made for Peyton Manning, so all he had to do was step in. But once he went to the Texans, it was horrible. Horrible. He's the reason why they went on ahead and drafted Deshaun Watson the next year. Brock Osweiler, though, man, I remember that dude. 6'8" quarterback, y'all. Tall as shit. Number 6 is Jared Goff, LA Rams 2019. 4 years, $34 million, $110 million guaranteed. Why is it bad? Signed right after the Super Bowl L. Then his play dropped off hard, and then the Rams had to ship him with picks to Detroit just to unload the deal. Legacy, ironically, he rebounded in Detroit, but the Rams paid clearly to move him. Number 7, Matt Flynn, Seahawks 2012. I remember this. Matt Flynn was supposed to be the man because how well he played in Green Bay the season prior when Aaron Rodgers went out. So his play in those games got him this contract, but then they drafted Russell Wilson the same season, and Russell Wilson beat this dude for the starting position in training camp. 3 years, $20.5 million, $9 million guaranteed, which is not that bad for a quarterback. Why it's bad? Paid off 1 big game with the Packers, then got beat out of camp by a 3rd-round rookie, Russell Wilson. Barely played a snap. Legacy, the one-hit wonder contract. Yeah, like I said, Russell Wilson beat him out. Russell Wilson was a 3rd-round pick. Number 8, the Rams again, overpaying these quarterbacks. Sam Bradford, 2010. 6 years, $78 million, $50 million guaranteed before the rookie wage scale. So he's one of the reasons why, you know, they got the rookie scale contract now for these quarterbacks, and they not making a boatload of money coming out of high school. Him and Jamarcus Russell is the reason why. Why it's bad? Consistently hurt, never lived up to the hype, took home huge money before ever playing a down. Legacy helped spark the rookie wage scale reform. So there y'all have it right there. He's one of the reasons why him and Jamarcus Russell, I want to say got $70 million coming out of college. And then I got something I want y'all to hear from Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown was on Joe Rogan, and this is what he had to say about CTE. I want y'all to listen.
CTE, when did you first start noticing the effects of football?
I feel like to me, I always knew like the game was gonna come to an end, and I feel like to me, I always played the game smart as a receiver, not putting myself in bad positions, getting hit. But I did have a chance to, rest in peace, Demaryius Thomas, one of the ex-receivers who came in the NFL around the time I came in. I had a chance to see him experience, some of that CTE trauma. And in the midst.
How did he pass?
From CTE.
Yeah, he passed from CTE.
Yeah, when they studied his brain.
The parents of Demaryius Thomas revealed today that the late Broncos player had stage 2.
Rest in peace, Demaryius Thomas.
They say this degenerative brain disease is what ultimately led to his cardiac arrest and subsequent death.
I don't want to speak about the battles that he really had, but being a close friend to him, you see some of the experience that he was going through, and playing for Temple my last year when we won the Super Bowl. I think it had a player, Vincent Jackson, rest in peace, also passed from CTE.
Yeah, rest in peace, Vincent Jackson.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
And not only just from the hits you take, but like you said, aftermath of your career, or having a moment in your career where some guys can't get over it. Or, you see fighters have a fight, or it may not go the way that they wanted to go, and could possibly affect the outcome of how they look at it. And I feel like we all have traumas in our lives no matter if you play sports or not. So just raising awareness of getting mental therapy and being able to, work on yourself so you can have a better life.
When you talk.
Man, that's probably the realest shit Antonio Brown said in the past 4 to 5 years, man. Damn. CTE is real, man. And y'all should see these dudes' brains after they passed away and they get tested for CTE. I forgot what player it was that I sent to, I want to say Ace Boy Manny. I sent it to him and he's like, man, that shit look like fried cauliflower. And I'm like, man, for real. Like, if you can see your brain, y'all know what the brain look like. But then on CTE, you'll see how much of your brain is gone and like bits and pieces of your brain missing. I'm like, golly. So they just take account of what these dudes is dealing with being in the league, man, and how much they give into the sport and how much the sport is taken away from their body and their brain, man, after the fact. It's crazy. Ain't no money worth all of that. Ray Robinson, what's going on? He said, what up, Hov? Albert Hainsworth got to be the worst contract. Pay good money for nothing. If I'm hearing what you were saying right. Oh, yeah, for sure. Dude only lasted 1.5 years. They say 2 years because it's 2 seasons, but they stopped playing him, that second year. Dude couldn't even get on the field. From Amazon warehouse to NFL prospect. From Amazon warehouse worker to a top NFL prospect, East Carolina cornerback Shavon Revel Jr. overcame adversity and is weeks away from living his dream of playing pro ball. Revel Jr., 24, dealt with poor grades and injuries in high school, so he started his college career at Lewisburg College and spent 2 seasons there. During the 2021 off-season, Revel took on an Amazon warehouse job in Kernersville, North Carolina, scanning boxes and loading trucks. Shavon Revel Sr. knew his son can play at a high level, but wouldn't get noticed without college game tape to show coaches. Revel Sr. signed his son up for ECU camp, which was designed primarily for high school players. Revel Jr. had just finished a 10-hour overnight shift at Amazon, but rather head home for an 8 hours of shut-eye, he took a quick nap in his father's car and made 2.5 hour drive to East Carolina University in Greenville, North Carolina on June 6th of 2021. On about an hour's sleep, Revel blew East Carolina coaches away with a 4.440 and an 11-foot broad jump and a 39-inch vertical. ECU offered Revel Jr. a scholarship on the spot, but under one condition. He had to prove his grades to become eligible. That's all I need to hear, Revel said. Revel Jr. Starred in the Pirates' first 3 seasons, recording 70 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 3 interceptions, one of which was returned for a touchdown, 1 fumble return for a touchdown, 15 pass breakups, and 24 career games. Revel Jr. 6'2", 194, was limited to 3 games in 2024 after suffering an ACL tear in September practice. In December, Revel earned his degree in communications instead of dropping out of school to concentrate solely on rehabilitating his knee. He remained on campus and posted a 3.0 GPA in his final semester. Revel Jr. is expected to be cleared for NFL training camp and is a potential first-round pick. What a story of perseverance, and it's about to pay off. Man, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. That's a good story, man. It ain't never too late. 24, it ain't never too late, y'all. My uncle was a gangbang, drug dealer, early in the game, y'all. I don't even know if that nigga really even graduated high school, really, because that nigga had so much money as a teenager. But he, once he got out the game and shit slowed up for him, he went back to school. He was 27 years old. He went back to community college. He went to Santa Monica, played with Chad Ochocinco, Steve Smith, and ended up being the leading wide receiver out of that receiving group. Went on, got him a full ride scholarship to Abilene Christian University. From there, played there, balled out there, but he was so undersized that he didn't get no offer to come to the combine or nothing like that. Plus, he was old. At this time, he probably was 31. So, you know, they wasn't trying to take no chance on the old 31-year-old. You already a vet. So he took the Arena League route and played in the Arena League. But shout out to my Uncle Skeeter, man. Ain't never too late. All right, y'all. Another one. As y'all know, here on the Hova Report, we just go ahead and spew a lot of random news that's in the NFL right now and give you some random facts about prior NFL players, coaches, and etc. So right now, I have a list of the worst coaches in NFL history, y'all. While some coaches become legends, others become memes, become immortals for all the wrong reasons. Hugh Jackson, he went from 3-36-1 as Browns head coach from 2016 to 2018. Rich Coty, he started a decently, but went 4-28 in his final 2 years with the Jets. Urban Meyer, the 2021 Jaguars were the absolute chaos with scandals and awkward quotes that made more headlines than wins. He was 2 of 11. Rod Marinelli, he had the 2008 Lions to an unforgettable 0-16 season as an NFL first. Steve Spurrier came from the college with swagger and left the NFL humbled at 12-20, and that's when he was the coach of the Washington Redskins. Yeah, Urban Meyer was terrible, man. Great college coach from Florida to Ohio State. Came to the league. He got humbled. Next story. Deion Sanders, y'all. Career NFL earnings, $33.3 million. That's all. I can't believe that's all this dude made in his career. I remember him being I had this magazine back in 1995 when he was with the Cowboys. He was on the cover of it, and he signed the biggest contract for a defensive player that year, which was $35 million. So I know the full contract length was $35 million. It probably was $7 million a year, and he didn't finish that contract out because he became a cap casualty, and the Cowboys cut him, what ultimately made him go sign with the Washington Redskins the next season after. But I'm like, damn, Deion was the best cornerback of all time, and this is all he made? But I say that to say this, y'all. His career earnings as a player was $33.3 million. His new contract extension with Colorado is $54 million. $54 million, y'all. Says, believe it or not, Deion Sanders' new contract with Colorado will give him more money than his entire NFL career. Yee! Damn, that's crazy, man. That's crazy that I'm seeing that, and I'm seeing how much money Michael Jordan made as a player. You the greatest player in NBA history, but far as money-wise, you wasn't the highest paid, which is nuts to me. But you a billionaire, but that is crazy to me. I got something for y'all to listen.
Wanted to listen to the man because college football is a mess right now, thanks to the NIL.
It's going back to Nico, y'all.
$1 million mansion in Florida right now, going, hey, told you so. Should have listened to me. Because this week, Tennessee's quarterback Nico Iamaleava had a holdout because he wanted more NIL money. And it was just reported this morning that Tennessee is going to be moving on from the guy. So basically, here's what's happening. This year, Nico was slated to make $2.4 million from Tennessee's collective. But apparently, that wasn't enough for Nico. And he saw Carson Beck go from Georgia to Florida, and he's getting $4 million. So basically, he stopped showing up to practice and meetings and was holding out, hoping that
they were signing 360s back then.
Long story short, Tennessee said no. I mean, to be fair, Nico, like, Tennessee's mascot is the Volunteers. You kind of knew what you signed up for. All jokes aside, though, this is kind of an insane move. And to me, the only logical explanation behind this is that Nico's camp just thinks he's not going to succeed in the NFL, so they're trying to get him as much money as possible right now. And if that means abandoning the team that you were slated to be a starter for until you graduated or went to the NFL draft, then so be it. My comments always come after me every time I make a video about the NIL saying that there's no heart in the game. There's no love of the game anymore. I want the players to get paid. I think it's a great thing for the sport. But the NIL is getting out of hand, man. But with that, I want to open up the floor to the comments. Is this a good move by Nico, or is it soft? Nick Saban tried.
All right. So we went back to the Nico situation, but I get where he's coming from now, because he feels like he isn't equipped enough to play in the NFL. So he's trying to get as much money as he can out of college so he can have that money playing the sport that he loves, just in case he doesn't make it to the league. All makes sense now. All makes sense. Oh, easy money, yeah, for sure. Hey, but back to Demo. He said they were signing 360s. I remember watching something that Deion was on. I want to say the Deion played 2 sports in one night. He said when he looked up the cornerback position, it was the lowest paying position in the league back in 1989. So I just don't know. He says the lowest paid. I just don't know what number the highest paid corner was getting at that time, but it couldn't have been over $1 million. if that. You feel me? He pretty much revolutionized the position and the pay for that position because he got paid that one year he went to Frisco, won Defensive Player of the Year, and then he went on ahead and got that big contract for Dallas the next year later. So you got to think, from 89, you making probably $1 million per year at that position to you fast forward 6 years later to 1995. Now you making what, 7 million at that position. Now you got cornerbacks making 25 million, 30 million at that position now. It's crazy, man. The times has changed. But we almost about to get up out of here. Make sure y'all smash that like button, man, if you ain't smashed that like button yet. Got a couple more stories before we get out of here. I just wanted to give y'all something on this beautiful Monday. I didn't want to wait till tomorrow to talk about the Kyren Lacy situation and this Nico situation. I feel like, over the weekend and everybody else talking about it, it'll be a dead issue by tomorrow. Since 1999, Cleveland will have 41 different QB1s. Golly. 99 was what, 26 years ago, bro. 41 different quarterback ones. Meaning you ain't had that many franchise quarterbacks in a 26-year period. We know, obviously, Baker Mayfield lasted a few years, but golly. Since returning to the NFL in 1999, the Browns are set to have 41 different starting quarterbacks when the 2025 season begins. With Deshaun Watson sidelining Jameis Winston and Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Bailey Zappi all off the roster, the Browns will have yet another starting quarterback, presumably Kenny Pickett. On Saturday, Pickett reiterated that his plan to be the Browns starting QB. That's the plan, man to start, Pickett said via Pittsburgh Tribune Review. I'm not going there to hang out. I want to play. I'm excited, been working hard for it. I've taken it one day at a time. The QB carousel in Cleveland continues. So, since 99, I know some of y'all probably don't remember this. Some of y'all probably was a little too young, but I remember all of these quarterbacks. Tim Couch, Ty Detmer, Doug Peterson, y'all. Doug Peterson. We all know who Doug Peterson is. One of the coaches now. Coach for Philly. Coach for Jacksonville. Spurgeon Wynn. Kelly Holcomb. Jeff Garcia. Luke McCown. We all know who Luke McCown is, the quarterback coach. Trent Dilfer. Charlie Fry. Derek Anderson. Brady Quinn. Ken Dorsey. Bruce Gronkowski. Colt McCoy, Jake Delhomme, Seneca Wallace, Brandon Whedon, Thad Lewis, Jason Campbell, Brian Hoyer, Johnny Manziel, Connor Shaw, Josh McCown, Austin Davis, Cody Kessler, Robert Griffin III, Deshaun Kaiser, Kevin Hogan, Baker Mayfield, Tyrod Taylor, Case Keenum, Nick Mullins, Jacoby Brissett, Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, J.P. Walker, Jeff Driscoll, Jameis Winston, Bailey Zappi. Whew. He said, brought a Tim Couch jersey at Sears, I remember. Oh, man. He said, need a 3-pick on Underdog before we get out of here? All right, for sure. I got you. Let me open this up. Where is my prize pick? got y'all for Prize Picks. Give me a second. Hey, and this right here is crazy. This next story, y'all. So, it's a bunch of crazy college football what ifs. So, before these dudes ultimately committed to the college that they known for, they were going to go to these colleges. So, Ohio State was going to get Bijan Robinson, y'all. Bijan Robinson is right here, and I can't wait. AD didn't show up yesterday. AD had his daughter birthday party to do yesterday, so he didn't come and set up my stuff, but I wish he would so y'all can see this. I can do the reaction screen. But yeah, Bijan Robinson to Ohio State. Trevor Lawrence to Florida. Johnny Manziel to Oregon. Travis Hunter to Florida State. Man, I was so mad when he decommitted to Florida State and went to go play with Deion. I was mad, but then I'm like, fuck it. He's going to play with Deion only because it's Deion. Other than that, I would have been hot if he went anywhere else. C.J. Stroud, Michigan. Bryce Young, he was going to either go to Texas or USC before going to Alabama. Jamar Chase, Florida and Auburn. Micah Parsons, Ohio State. Ryan Williams, LSU and Auburn. Jeremiah Smith, Florida or Georgia. Shedeur Sanders, Alabama. Lamar Jackson, UCF. Brock Purdy, Alabama. Arch Manning, Alabama. Caleb Williams had 4 colleges to choose from before going to Oklahoma and then transferring to USC. Number 1, Penn State. Number 2, Clemson. Number 3, LSU. Number 4, Georgia. And that was the last one. But man, Bama had them players, but them dudes would have been playing be playing behind each other, and that's the reason why the transfer portal is needed. That's why, the NIL is needed, because you can go ahead and get some money from another school instead of playing behind this player, and you're not gonna see the field for a season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons. I remember when I was in high school and coming out of high school, a lot of dudes and around the surrounding areas wanted to go to SC so bad. Pete Carroll used to be at my school all the time. Pete Carroll even came and sat down in my living room trying to recruit my nephew. He ultimately ended up getting Taylor Mays instead of my nephew. Everybody wanted to play backer at SC. But around that time, to play backer at USC, you was going to be sitting 3-4 years. Like, you wasn't going to see the field till your last year. I'm talking about they had Clay Matthews, Brian Cushing, Ray Montaluga, who else? Man, let's go on. They had linebackers for days, though, around that time. And running backs, too. And I'm like, dog, why not just go to UCLA and just play against these dudes? But, USC was the shit back then. But, yeah, man, that's crazy. But now it's wide open. So now, instead of you having a stacked roster at Alabama and you got, a 3-star wide receiver that's a 3rd string and a 4-star that's a 2nd string and a 5-star that's your number 1 receiver, those 3 stars can go to to Ole Miss and play against you and ball out. So that's one thing I do like about the transfer portal. All right, Adam Schefter reports Bears reached an agreement on a 3-year deal worth $40 million extension that includes $31.25 million guaranteed with cornerback Kyler Gordon. The deal now makes Gordon the NFL highest paid slot corner and contractually ties him to Chicago through the 2028 season. Shout out to him, the third corner, slot corner, and you getting paid like that? Shout out to him. He pretty decent. For my people that's in the chat, that's team is in the NFC. Every NFC team's biggest needs in the draft. They got number one. They got the Commanders with defensive end, cornerback, offensive tackle. I don't know why we need an offensive tackle when we just signed. Traded for Laramie Tunsil. We need another running back for sure. I think we good on wide receivers. It was talks that we wasn't gonna draft Kyren Lacy, but he was gonna be an undrafted free agent, and we was gonna pick him up once you was able to sign the undrafted free agents. But now that's gone. We definitely need to focus on running back. Next is the Cowboys, wide receiver, running back, defensive lineman. Eagles, defensive end, offensive lineman, tight end. Giants, quarterback, offensive line, D tackle. Chicago Bears, tight end, D tackle, running back. Lions, defensive end, inside, offensive line, wide receiver. The Packers, D lineman, cornerback, offensive tackle. Vikings, defensive back, D tackle, interior offensive lineman. Buccaneers, safety, guard, linebacker. Falcons, cornerback, D tackle, center. Panthers, defensive end, defensive back, wide receiver. Saints, quarterback, wide receiver, cornerback. 49ers, defensive line, offensive line. Cardinals, defensive lineman, interior offensive lineman, linebacker. Rams, linebacker, cornerback, tight end. Last but not least, Seattle, offensive line, cornerback, wide receiver. I seen some shit too that said Packers been having the worst draft over the past decade. All right, here's a list of players that retired this year. Just so y'all won't be like, man, what's his name at? You know that he ain't coming. He's retired and he's not coming back unless he does come back. But number one is Zach Martin. Number two is Mason Crosby. I thought he'd been retired. Mason Crosby was still holding on in that free agency pool. Micah Hyde, Jason Peters, Julio Jones, Sam Hubbard, Brandon Graham, Michael Pierce, Keanu Neal, Teron Armstead, Mitch Morse, John Kaminsky, and that's it. So those players right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those 12 players is out of here. Shout out to the Commanders fan with the super chat. Any thoughts on Michael Parsons not signing the extension yet? Yeah, we all know what that's about. Jerry Jones like to wait to the last minute to sign his players so they can reset the market and everything and then put them in cap hell. That's the way he do business. He said, damn, that's hell. Shout out to Drebo, man. He said, damn, it's hella niggas left. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, Michael Parsons gonna get his deal. Jerry always find a way to do that. He just always wait to the last minute to do so. All right, so this is the last story before we get up out of here. And it says, Kayvon Thibodeau, Giants outside linebacker, is listed as a trade candidate ahead of the upcoming draft. So this really depends on whether the Giants end up drafting Penn State Abdul Carter with the number 3 pick. If they do, they might conclude that they're not going to pay Thibodeau big money when his contract expires after this season. or after the 2026 season. If they pick up his 5th-year option, especially when they already got huge money committed into Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence, it might hurt them in the short term, but a deal could be a long-term help because a player like Thibodeau could bring multiple premium draft picks in return. Thibodeau, 24, is entering the final year of his rookie contract, and it's unclear if the Giants will exercise his 2026 5th-year option, which is fully guaranteed and worth roughly around $15 million. The deadline to pick up 5th-year option is May 1st, and acquiring teams would have to commit to signing Thibodeau to an extension before completing a trade. In 2024, Thibodeau recorded 28 tackles total, 15 solo, 8 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 2 pass breakups, and 12 starts. Yeah, get Thibodeau out of here, man. Sorry. Shout out to Drebo, W Hove, my nigga. I can say that I'm black. LOL. Shout out to Drebo with the super chat. Hey, man, I didn't know how many dudes that be glazing my boy Blasey, man. I know Blasey go out there and he do some wonderful things with his creations and everything else and all the people that he worked for. I know he a dope individuals, but god damn. They act like I told the nigga he can't say nigga ever come out his mouth, bruh. Dude, I didn't receive so many death threats. I done got so many racial texts and not texts, but DMs, comments on my pictures. I said, golly. All of this because I told him what I'm not cool with, which is crazy. But yeah, let me give y'all these prize picks before we get out of here. Oh, niggas talking about having a WrestleMania party. Let me head over to the Discord. All right, so tomorrow is the start of the NBA play-in games. You got Paolo Banchero and the Orlando Magic's playing against the Atlanta Hawks. Let me look at these. Then you got Chicago Bulls playing against the Heat. And let me look at these and see what I like. Lately, I've been going with the points, rebounds, and assists. But it's only specific players I do that with. Paolo Banchero got to cover 44.5, so 45 rebounds, points, and assists. Can he get that? His last game, he didn't cover that. Against Boston, he only had 25. Game before that, he hit it with 47. Game before that, 59. Prior 2 games before that, he didn't meet that. So that I will go lower on. I'm going lower on that one. Then we got Trae Young. His is 40.5. He hit that last game playing against Philly. Prior 2 games, he didn't hit that against Orlando, which he would be playing against tomorrow, and Brooklyn. Game prior to that, he did against Utah. He didn't hit that against the Knicks. So, of course, the Philly team was decimated this year. So, of course, that was easy money. But I say he go less. There's going to be a tougher game. I say he goes less. Then I'm going to go with KCP. KCP, points, rebounds, and assists is 14.5. So he needs 15 to hit to clear that. Last time he played against Atlanta, he didn't do that. I'm not even sure if he finished that whole game. He didn't do it against Boston, but his prior 3 games he did. So, and he did that with hitting 20, 21, and 27. So I'm saying KCP will hit tomorrow. If y'all want to go 6 pick, let me know. Because we do have the West where we got Memphis versus the Warriors. We all know that game about to be lit. Ja Morant about to be Ja Morant is crazy, man. Steph Curry, out of his last 5 games, he didn't cover 3 of them. I want to say he sat early one game. Portland and Houston, those games he didn't hit. But he hit against Phoenix, the Spurs, and the Clippers. He needs to hit 40 points, rebounds, and assists. With this type of game on the line, I'm thinking he's going to hit that. Steph Curry will clear that. Let me get off of that now. Let me go with popular. Do I think Ja Morant can get 30 points? Ooh. You got Jimmy Buckets. Let me turn this up. Jimmy Buckets, Draymond Green. I don't think he's gonna get 30. I don't think he's gonna get 30 in that game. It could be. It ain't far fetched, but that Red Demon, I'm not sure. I'm not even comfortable with that one. I'm gonna pass on that one. I'm gonna go Bam Adebayo. Need 15 points. I think he can do that. That's easy. Green Goblin. Dyson Daniels. I like Dyson Daniels. He needs 11 rebounds and assists. Out of his last 5 games, he covered that at 19, 18, and 12. The game he didn't, he was against the Knicks. He only had 3. Games against Orlando, he only had 8. I'm picking him to do that. Game on the line, last game of the season, I'm picking that. That will conclude the 6th pick. Y'all go ahead and look at that. Let's play that. All right. That's up in there. That's locked in. Man, make sure. Oh yeah, make sure y'all use my code too, Hove. Let me put that in the chat. Let me put that in the chat for y'all. Hold on, where is my goddamn prize pick code? God damn, did I delete? God damn, I cannot find my prize pick code. Did my shit delete? Hold on, let me go ahead and get it. Let me go ahead and get it. All right, here we go. Yazis, can you go ahead and pin that for me? Yeah, man, but thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button out of here. Shit, I'm trying to think what I got going for y'all today. I know I'm supposed to pull up on Pot Lord tomorrow. Me and him gonna pod. I was supposed to pull up on Ace Boy Trey today. I might still go do that. Shout out to my boy Corey. He said promo is Clippers coming out the West. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, man. You know them Clippers ain't about to do nothing. But yeah, man, smash that like button on the way out, man. I appreciate y'all as always. He said Maz can't pin it. What? You should be able to. All right. I thought I put you in Suave. Y'all can do that, Yazers. I'm probably gonna have to switch your what's the name. Switch your manager and moderating. But yeah, man, let me get up out of here. These kids is out of school today. Know what I'm saying? They on spring break. Gotta do something with the kiddos, man. So I'ma get with y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with your boy, man.